What's up, everybody? You are live with Johnathan Maness, aka the One Leg Bandit. It is January the 16th, Saturday, and it is Divisional Round Football Talk. Now, this week has been crazy for work. Full disclaimer here, I got to start out with this. Everything we're talking about today is just for fun. We're having a good time. I'm in no way professional, nor do I encourage any type of picks or gambling on football. This is just fun and speculating the games, having something to talk about, to get to know my viewers on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Twitch, everywhere we're located. We are just glad to be here. We're also on Facebook Live today. We are out there now. The last week and a half, 2 weeks has been great. The series that I've been doing for growing your business, all my partners with federal contracting has just been outstanding and bringing these great products to the VA and DOD. But again, on the weekends, we take it easy. We get to know new people. We reach out and we talk about different things. But today I have a special guest with me, Anthony Kuzo, my son. I told a little bit of a story about him last week. About him watching the Bucs coming up, always watching that Super Bowl video, and I'm glad he's here with me. I'm about to bring him on, but I also want to say last week's video got a ton of views, ton of comments. Thank you so much. I had to pull it down, though, because little did I know, you can't play TV in the background. So as you'll notice, the TV is off. Disney's like, no, that's our gig. So now I'm doing everything straight. We are just live in our normal studio. Everything is perfectly good to go. We'll have no problems with Disney. So I'm bringing in Tony now. Let's see here. What's up,
how's it
Anthony?
going?
Hey, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So what do you think about last week's games? Let's start first there. How did you feel about the games?
Most of them ended up about how I would expect them. The one big surprise for me was the Rams kind of just beating down the Seahawks. I figured that would be a close game. It seemed like during the season, the Rams had the Seahawks number most of the time, so figured it would be a close game. But the Rams just pummeled them, and I think they have a pretty good chance today as well.
I tell you, I had that one all wrong. Everybody remembers last week. I was thinking the Seahawks was just going to just stomp them, but the Rams defense showed up and played outstanding. My biggest thing from last week, I'm wearing a Browns jersey right now. This is old Johnny Manziel. I was feeling for Johnny when he was alive, but this is the only Browns jersey that I have. But I'm on the Browns train because I want them to go all the way. If Baker's going to do this thing, let's just get him all the way to the Super Bowl. Now, I do want him to lose in the Super Bowl to Tom, which we're going to talk about here in a little bit.
Absolutely.
What do you think that they should do for Tom Brady if he wins the Super Bowl there in Tampa Bay? First of all, do you think that he should retire and go out on his shield on top, or what do you think?
Well, if he happens to win a Super Bowl this year, I think they should immediately erect like a 50-foot statue of him in front of Raymond James Stadium. But in terms of retirement, he should. Everyone kind of wants to go out on top of the mountain, but because he's Tom Brady, I don't think he will. I think he'd come back next season and try and do it all over again.
I completely agree. He's just got so much drive and so much passion. And, a lot of people hate on him, but one thing's for sure, he can throw that ball downfield, and he is just definitely successful everywhere he's been. Last week, and you might not have even saw it, I said if Tom Brady wins, they need right over the Skyway, or when you go to the Skyway, or when you're going from Tampa to St. Petersburg, on the right there, they need to build a statue of him right there with Gronk behind him spiking the ball. So, my Super Bowl now is what I have a soft spot for the Bills. So I hope the Bills gets there. Maybe I'm definitely pulling for the Browns, and also in the NFC, I'm pulling for Tom to go all the way. What are you feeling as far as the AFC? Who do you hope makes it?
Well, I think the Browns would definitely be a special story. I kind of hope it's the Bills because I really like Josh Allen. He's kind of came out of nowhere this year in terms of his accuracy because he's always had the arm, but this year it seems like he's really taken that next step. In terms of really who I think is going to make it, I think without a doubt it's going to be the Chiefs. They do have some defensive liabilities, but overall their offense is just so overpowered. And in the league today, that's really what is going to win you the games. So I definitely think the Chiefs will end up making it. The NFC is a little bit more foggy for me.
Yeah, it's going to be a great weekend. I mean, Sunday night ends with the two old guys playing each other. And, ever since I was a kid, I'm watching, Tom Brady. Well, I mean, I watched Tom Brady's whole career, and kind of come up with him. And Drew Brees, not so much just because I was a Panthers fan. I didn't really pay as much attention to him, but he's always been breaking records as well. But what do you foreshadow seeing in the Bucks Saints game? How do you see it playing out? Do you see a shootout there, maybe?
Kinda. I think it'll be hopefully a little closer than the games in the regular season, but I'm thinking probably around 50, maybe 60 points total. I think there's a lot of defensive steps the Bucks could take to limit Drew Brees a little bit more, and I can talk about that more later, some specific statistics. But I think Tom Brady will come out and he'll have a much better offensive showing than he did in the previous two meetings. And I definitely think it'll be close. It'll come down to whether the Bucks defense can implement these new strategies or not.
Well, I'll tell you, Tom Brady he's got a chip on his shoulder. You can see it in his little videos that he puts out. And I think Tom Brady and Gronk and the whole receiving core, I think they might have just took it easy in Washington. I don't really think they was trying to pummel them. I might be wrong, but they just seemed like the play calling wasn't to just all out assault on them. They're going to have to bring their A game on offense, I believe, on Sunday night to really just light it up, because it's going to have to be back and forth. And then Tom Brady, for him to win, is going to have the ball in his hands at the end.
Yep.
Because Drew Brees and Tom Brady both have proven many times, if they have a ball and a minute and 10 seconds or less, they can definitely drive down no matter where they're at and win the ball game.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take it all the way back a little bit, and let's talk about that Ryan Fitzpatrick and that pass, that 40-yard pass, that he was getting face masked on, and that completion. What did you think about that? I mean, and Ryan Fitzpatrick's complete year.
Well, when I first saw the play happening, I thought it was going to be a pick six, and I can't believe they didn't call a penalty on it, obviously. But that just shows the resiliency of the beard and his entire aura. That kind of just elevates him to a new level every time he steps on the field. I wish had he stayed in the whole season, I bet the Dolphins, I don't know, they probably would be out of the playoffs by now. But had he played the whole season, I think they would have at least gotten that wild card spot.
Yeah, and no disrespect to Tua, but Tua actually respect and learn from Ryan, and Ryan saved Tua's butt 2 or 3 times, I know. Mm-hmm. And Tua might grow into something absolutely amazing, but this year, I don't think he was ready. I think they thrusted him in just a little bit too early there, and Ryan Fitzpatrick could have had the most amazing year ever. At least that's how I feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Well, we're going to reset here. Let's get focused, and let me tell you about the games that we have today. Today is Saturday. The first game starts at 4:35. We got the Rams versus the Packers, and we hit on that briefly. The line is, as of right now, Packers is -7.5. The over and under is 45.5, and that's where it's at right now. Money line, you got 252 on the Rams. So for every 100, you bet you would win 252 for the Rams. So first of all, I think the money line is out. You'd never bet against Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I think, again, this game will be a lot closer than a lot of people are thinking. I think the Rams will definitely cover, but I really don't foresee them winning the game. I mean, they could, but I think Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay is going to take care of business.
Yeah, I also expect the same. Now, I do not agree with you. I don't think that the Rams will even cover. I think it's over for them. Jared Goff is a little bit injured. I believe Cooper Kupp is hurt. Have you heard anything about Cooper Kupp for today?
I think he's just gonna be a game time decision.
Game time. Well, when that happens, every time I see that on fantasy football, and I don't go with the guy, he ends up having 3 or 4 touchdowns. So Cooper, trust me, you might want to roll with Cooper Kupp today on fantasy. But I think that Aaron Rodgers has got a lot of chips on his shoulder. People just because of his attitude, they just look over him a little bit. But I believe he's going to show out today. I don't see anything stopping him up there. Is it going to be cold up there from what you've heard?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get any snow. It might snow in Buffalo a little bit tonight, but no, I think it's just going to be like mid to upper 30s.
Yeah, well, I definitely am. I think I'm going to go if if I'm picking here, I'm going with the Packers -7.5, and the over and under. I would probably stay away from that, but I would probably go over the 45.5. What do you think?
That's tough. Just because the number is so low, like what would you say, 45.5? That's a few touchdowns for each team, and you're pretty much there. Um, it could end up being a low scoring game. It's really going to come down to that Jalen Ramsey Devontae Adams matchup because each of them in their respective categories are first in the league. So like Devontae Adams first in the league in yards per game and touchdowns, and Jalen Ramsey is first in the league in completion percentage when he's defending like the top receiver, and he's also first in passes defensed, I believe. So it's really going to come down to that. And if Devontae Adams can get the best of him on a couple long plays, I think the Packers will definitely take care of business. But the Rams defense, especially when you look at their D line, and I think that's where the matchup nightmare really kind of kicks in for the Packers because their franchise left tackle David Bakhtiari is out for the season. He tore his ACL at practice, I think, like 2 weeks ago. So with Aaron Donald rushing off the edge, they got Michael Brockers coming in too. I think they still have a kid out of Florida. I can't remember his name, but they've got a really stout defensive line. So the Packers O line really needs to step up if they're gonna protect Aaron Rodgers.
So you're expecting the star of the game possibly to be a defensive player for the Rams. That's what you're thinking, or maybe Devontae Adams.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm thinking the whole. I think it might come down to the second and third receiver for Green Bay. If Valdez-Scantling and what's the other guy's name?
Lazard.
Yeah, Lazard. Those two, I think that they're going to have to step up and make the plays. And I mentioned last week in last week's live stream that sometimes those two players don't come to play and they have a couple big drops.
Yeah.
And if you're thinking it's going to be a defensive game, it might be something to look at there, to really keep an eye on as far as who wins the game and if they cover and all that. If they're catching all the balls and they're on point, then I think Green Bay will smoke them. But if there's a couple big drops, you never really know what's going to happen there. So also tonight at 8:15 on NBC, we got the Ravens versus the Bills. And as I've spoken to everybody before, I'm pulling for the Bills there. And the line is Bills -2.5. Over and under is 49.5, and the money line is really irrelevant. It's +118 for the Ravens. So really no money on the money line. It's just you need to got to make your picks there. Now, what I want to throw my 2 cents in on this and let you know why. Well, first of all, one reason why I'm hoping that the Ravens lose this week is because the way they acted in Tennessee last week, stomping on the middle of the field. I know a lot of people feel the same way as I do. I love good football. I even love watching the Ravens play football, but I am not a fan of that. Even I'm pulling for Baker today. What he did when he was in Oklahoma, that turned me off for a little bit, taking and sticking the flag in the middle of the 50-yard line. You got to have respect in this game. What comes around goes around. That's how I feel about it. But I hope the Bills thump them today. What do you hope?
I think this is going to be I think it's going to be one of the most high-scoring playoff games of all time, honestly. I mean, you've got two not great defenses. You've got two star quarterbacks that can run. Lamar Jackson's kind of iffy on the throwing, but these are two really high-powered offenses, and it's going to come down to the weather, I think. If it does happen to snow in Buffalo tonight, then it'll probably be a little on the lower scoring side. But regardless, you're going to have a huge running attack for the Ravens and for probably the Bills because Zach Moss, the Bills' other running back besides Singletary, he's out for the season. So Devin Singletary is going to be getting the bulk of the carries. I also think the Ravens running back, what's his name? I can't remember. The rookie running back. But I think it's going to be crazy running attack on both sides. I'm sure Stephon Diggs will get on the action a decent amount. But I think it's going to be a very, very high-scoring affair.
I'm expecting Stephon Diggs to have one of those 13, 14 catch games, 160, 170 yards. And even in that, they may not win because of the points that, like you said, it's going to be scored. You're talking about Dobbins, I think, is the running back, correct?
J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, so Dobbins, and one thing that I learned by watching the game very closely last week is if you think that you've got Lamar Jackson cornered, it takes about 2 seconds for him to prove you wrong. He went right through the middle of the line and was gone and scored that 50-some yarder. And I believe that was the momentum changer in that game when he did that, because they had kept him bottled up the entire game. But when he broke that long run and scored that touchdown, that was the backbreaker right there last week.
Yeah.
So who are you pulling for in this game?
Definitely the Bills. I think they'll come out on top. I think it'll definitely be very close. But yeah, I'm definitely rooting for Josh Allen.
Me too. I mean, Josh Allen coming out of nowhere last year, he took his lumps, but he just looks awesome. I love it when he's rolling out and throwing to his right. I mean, that is just, it's amazing the way he does it. He is on the point. I mean, he's on the money, 30 yards downfield, he'll hit them right as they're going out of bounds, and they make that catch. And, it's exciting to watch them, and it's exciting for the Bills fans. They've sucked. Let's face it. They sucked since I was a kid. I remember going to the Super Bowl parties as a kid with them playing the Redskins, and every year they say, "Oh, the Bills are going to get it done this year," and unfortunately, they did not get it done.
Yeah.
So 20 years of sucking will get you upset. And I know how I feel when the Panthers don't do too good, and you know how you felt when the Bucs didn't do good. It sucks. Yeah. It's the only word to use. And now we are definitely getting to see a little bit of Bills action. And I know the Bills fans are happy. I mean, they're changing laws up there so they can go to the football game. So it's a crazy time up there, So what do you think? Who do you think would be the fantasy players to look for in that game?
Outside of like the main guys, like obviously Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, they're going to have some big games. I think Mark Andrews could be a guy to look at, Ravens tight end. J.D. McKissick, another kind of an obvious one, but I think he's going to be big on the ground today. Both of these run defenses aren't very good.
I have a sleeper there. Everybody check out TJ Yeldon. He is starting for the Bills, and he's a Carolina boy, a Tar Heel. And if you remember watching him in college, he was outstanding. And he's in the game. And they also, if you look down on the fantasy lineup, let me see here. Let me tell you who I saw today. I want to run over this real quick at running back so everybody knows that he's actually playing. Can't pull him up here. Let's see here. Either way, I'll continue along. But there's another running back that was just brought up in Buffalo that you can watch. Look for. He's right under TJ Yeldon in the list today. So look for those running backs to step up, because there's going to have to be somebody backing up their starter today. So there we go. So let's talk a little bit. I'm going to hit tomorrow's games. Let's start tomorrow at 3:05. We got the Browns, who I'm repping today, and the Chiefs. Now, with that game, the Chiefs are giving up 9.5 points. The over and under is 57, and the money line is plus 387 for the Browns. So there is money on the money line, but the reason why there is 90% of the people are feeling that the Chiefs are going to drum them. But I think the Browns beat a really good Steelers team last week, and we saw that, because if there was another 4 or 5 minutes left in the game, I believe the Steelers would have come back and at least tied it. So they got, what did they get, 28 points spotted to them in the first quarter?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you do that in the NFL, you're going to lose, period. And that's just what it is. It's just not enough time to come back with these professionals. But how are you feeling that game's going to play out, and who's your stars to look for in that game?
I think Kareem Hunt's going to have a big return. Obviously he was on the Chiefs, and then he had the whole kicking incident, and now he's on the Browns. So I think he's going to have a big game, maybe a couple touchdowns. Chiefs defense is pretty horrible. Browns defense is decent, but the Chiefs offense is just so exceptional that I think the Browns will keep it close in the first half, But then Andy Reid, absolutely incredible coach, one of the best in NFL history. I think he's going to make those adjustments at halftime that are going to really let the Chiefs run away with the game.
And I kind of feel the same way. The only thing that's going to throw a wrench into this here is if the Chiefs come out and they make two big mistakes in the first. Okay, if you make two big mistakes in the first quarter or the early second quarter, throw a pick six or a fumble on the wrong side of the field, and you give Cleveland some easy points, their defense is liable to keep them in the game. So I do believe it's going to take two, not one, but two big turnovers like that to keep Cleveland in and have them winning. But one thing's for sure, Cleveland's another team with a chip on their shoulder, and they're looking to fight. And I think they're going to bring the fight. So the Chiefs better not come out not ready to scrap. Now, they've had 2 weeks to get ready, being a number one seed, that they had a little time to rest. And I'm sure Andy Reid will have them ready to go. But still, you never really know how you're going to come out of the gate when you've been off for a week or so.
Yeah.
What do you see as a weakness with Kansas City?
Their offensive line isn't the best. They have that one left guard, Lauren. I forgot to say his name. It's like Lauren Dene Tarnif, something like that. He's Canadian. He's a doctor, and he opted out to help battle COVID this year. So that was a significant loss they took. They do have Mitchell Schwartz on the right side and Eric Fisher on the left side, former number one overall pick. So that could definitely use some work on the offensive line, and their defense is not anything to write home about. I think their secondary is very poor. They have a decent front seven, but I think the Browns are really going to kill them in the passing game.
I hear you. So, what you think the Browns are going to be better than the Chiefs are expecting on the passing game? Is that what you're saying?
Definitely. I think a lot of those passes, I don't think they're going to go over the top too much because, they're missing Odell Beckham. They have Jarvis Landry, but he's more of a catch and run kind of guy as it is. So I think you'll see a lot of little screens out to Kareem Hunt and a lot of dump downs to the running backs. And they'll probably scamper for a good amount on a lot of plays.
Yeah, that 1-2 duo of running backs is outstanding. And I am looking, everybody on your sleeper, look for Peoples-Jones in this game. He gets open on the deep ball. So check out Peoples-Jones for Cleveland. And I think he can break free. Landry's going to be covered up pretty good. They'll probably run him on some deep post patterns. And I think Peoples-Jones will get a couple touchdowns or get a touchdown, which will be big there. Let's see here. All right. So let's talk a little bit about the Chiefs and their offense. So we've talked about this not on stream here, but who do you think has the better receiving core at this time? Do you think the Bucs have the better receiving core or the Chiefs at this time?
I think the Bucs have the better all-around receiving core, but as far as star power, I think the Chiefs definitely take the cake. You got Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, Mecole Hardman out of Georgia, obviously Travis Kelce. There's just three big stars on that offense that can carry you to victory. Now the Bucs, obviously Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, AB, Gronk, Cameron Brate. Unfortunately, we lost O.J. Howard earlier in the year. That really would have helped out the offense if he was still in. But I think the Chiefs, just with those are like some of the top guys in the game that the Chiefs have. And while the Bucs receivers, I think Chris Godwin and Mike Evans are both probably top 10 receivers in the league. Tyreek Hill is probably top 3, top 2, and Travis Kelce is the best tight end in the league. So I think the Chiefs will probably have them edged out in the end. But it'll really just come down to what defensive scheme they throw on the field.
I hear you. So before we jump off this game, with the line, the 9.5, what are you thinking there? Who would you roll with if you had to give 9.5?
That's a tough one. I guess the Chiefs. I think maybe the Chiefs will be up by like 3 at halftime, or maybe it'll almost be tied. I think they'll kind of take over in the second half. A lot of times when a team has a bye, they will come out a little sluggish, and then once that second half hits, they get the adrenaline going. They see what they're playing for. That's when they really come out and show their stuff. So I think I'd probably go with the Chiefs minus 9.5.
Chiefs minus 9.5, and the over and under. Do you think the score would be over 57 or under 57?
That's That is a very big number. I kind of want to go with the under. It really depends how many points they put up in the first half. Like, if the Chiefs happen to be running away with it, they'll probably take their foot off the gas, and it'll be up to the Browns to play catch up.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably go with the over, because whenever I have an over under and I don't know really, but I want to bet on it, I kind of just go for the over, because in my mind, at least, it's a lot more fun and easier to root for more points rather than for people who score less points.
Agree. A lot of people feel that way. And when you're watching the game, you don't want to just sit there and watch a boring game. So that's why a lot of people do go with the over, just to hope for the points, And now we are to one that's very near and dear to you. 6:40 tomorrow, you got the Bucs and the Saints. And you're in New Orleans. New Orleans is -3.5. The over and under is 52.5, and the money line is again negligible. Sorry about that. At +137 for the Buccaneers. So for every 100, you get 137. So what are you thinking, and how are you feeling? I know we hit on this briefly, but how are you feeling about this game in general?
Well, I'd probably, if I were a Bucs fan, I would just throw a little bit of money on the Saints money line, because then, Saints win, you make a little bit of money, and the Bucs win, they're going to the NFC Championship. But kind of a win-win.
You're hedging it there. Yeah, I got you.
But I think it's just going to come down to the Bucs defense, and obviously not getting off to a slow start. I don't think the offense is going to be a problem against the Saints tomorrow like it was during the regular season, just because we've really caught fire and we've started clicking the past couple of weeks. It's going to really come down to the defense, and I mentioned this earlier, but so Drew Brees' completion percentage when cornerbacks are in cover 3, meaning they're not playing press right up against the receiver, they're about 5 to 10 yards back, it's about 75%. Now, when the corners are playing press, which Todd Bowles, the Bucs defensive coordinator, doesn't like to do for whatever reason, his completion percentage drops to about 57%. And that's a pretty big margin that Todd Bowles has not taken advantage of in either of the previous 2 matchups. So it's going to come down to whether or not he makes the adjustments. And it's especially with Michael Thomas, whenever you're pressing him, because he runs a lot of slants, he catches these short passes and runs with the ball. If you're playing press, that's going to disrupt his route running, and it's going to make it a lot harder to complete a pass. So if Todd Bowles can make those adjustments, then I think we have a good chance. But knowing him, I mean, he'll probably just try and blitz Drew Brees every time, and then we'll get killed with those quick little slants and out routes.
Well, one thing's for sure, you can't stop Michael Thomas, okay? Now that he's back, if he's 100% healthy, you can't stop him. He is on point every game he is on the field. So Michael Thomas is going to bring it. He's going to get his points. And another person for the Saints that you can't hardly stop is Alvin Kamara. You can't stop him. He just is so shifty and so smooth. He is smooth. I mean, there's no other way to say it. Alvin Kamara is smooth, and I love watching them play. But here's the deal. The excitement level for this game is through the roof for everybody that loves football. It doesn't matter. If you're a football fan, you're tuning in tomorrow because it's history. Everybody saw the whole history thing that they put out with Tom Brady and Drew Brees looking all old, and but think about what it takes to get there to that level and get through so many games. And I heard him talking yesterday about the logo for the NFL has changed since both of these two has been starting. Okay, the footballs has changed. So all the change that happens every year, and these guys has made it. They are the two of the faces in the Mount Rushmore football, and they're going at it tomorrow night. Too bad it couldn't be for the Super Bowl, but it's okay. This is still amazing. And one of the things is Drew Brees might be his last game. Now, we haven't heard anything out of Tom Brady, but you never really know about Tom Brady. What he wants to do. I mean, they both accomplished it all. So they're going to have to go through the questions again of what are they doing. Now, in my opinion, Tom Brady looks to me like he's having way too much fun to just say it's over. I think that man's going to play until he's 56. But, I don't know if anybody was watching the game last week. But if you did, you saw the breakdown between Tom Brady and then this other quarterback that was 43 years old when he was playing. It was an old Raiders player. I forgot his name. But the 43-year-old player for the Raiders looked like he was 56 years old. Tom looks great at 42 or 43 years old. It's just absolutely amazing how they look. So I would have to say they really are saving the best for last. Tomorrow night's game is just going to be exciting every second that the game is going on here. So in my opinion, in my thoughts, I think the Bucs has gotten beat twice by the Saints, and I feel that they've learned their lesson, and I think that they know what type of offense they're going to bring. So I think tomorrow night will be an absolute shootout. There will be some defense, but these teams are going to score. But I think they're just going to go back and forth on each other with the scoring. I don't think there'll be a slow second in this game. I think it'll start right out of the gate and just constant scoring. And I believe, again, whoever has the ball last in this game will be the winner. At least that's my thought. But if I'm going to bet on the game, I'm going to take the 3.5 points because you never bet against Tom Brady. And if you're getting over more than a field goal, you got to take those. And even though that they're at home with the Saints, there's not too many people going to be there, if anybody. And I just don't think that the fans are going to make that big of a deal. Who are you looking for as far as fantasy goes in this game tomorrow night?
I honestly think I think Antonio Brown's gonna have a really big game. I know he showed out a touchdown, but I think it's gonna be the Antonio Brown show. I think he's gonna have 8 to 10 catches, maybe like 2 touchdowns. And obviously, Tom Brady loves to sprinkle it around. I'm sure he'll hit Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, hopefully
Scotty Miller.
Godwin, yeah. I hope Chris Godwin bounces back a little bit. He had, I think, 4 drops his entire career, and then last week he had 4 drops in the game. So I'm sure he definitely had some butterflies going into his first playoff game, but he definitely needs to have a bounce back week and then reestablish that trust with Tom Brady.
Yeah, that was weird, and I think Tom knows it was weird. I saw him slap him on the helmet and say, you got this. But, yeah, that was weird about Godwin dropping some balls. Did he score a touchdown last week? I can't remember. I think he might have got a touchdown too.
Yeah, he did, I think.
So maybe he'll bounce back. My fantasy player that I'm going to definitely be going with is Michael Thomas for the Saints, and I'm going to take Gronkowski for the tight end. Gronk is one of those that he's like a week on, a week off. I really foresee Gronk getting a couple touchdowns because of all the wide receivers that they have. And I just think he's going to use his power and his size and throw them big mitts up there and snatch it down, get a couple touchdowns in this game. So he's who I'm going to go with on the fantasy. Yeah,
some of the balls he caught, not even just last week, but throughout the season, where Tom Brady kind of just chucks it up and he literally climbs up the back of a defensive back and rips it away from him just for a catch or a touchdown. It's pretty incredible, and it shows you just like how much of an athletic freak he is. I mean, he took a year off of football, partying, not working out, and then did it take him like a month to get back into shape, and now he's doing this sort of stuff on the field again. It's special.
Absolutely, it's special. And look, let's talk a little bit about this. Gronk, your commercials for that TV brand, the Hisense commercials, and for the Manscaped, you're the man, okay? You are living. And that's what I'm talking about, using power, positivity, energy to create success. And look, most people in the world, a lot of people don't know who Hisense TVs are. You brought brand awareness. I bet you in 2 months, you'll be up there at the tippity top of selling TVs because you're outstanding and you use your positive outlook and funny and laughter and you bring a positive attitude to a product. And I know that the Manscaped things is going through the roof with your commercials, and now with the TVs, they're going to be up the chain too. So thank you for all the laughter that you bring to us throughout the year.
Yeah, I don't think anyone has quite as much fun as Gronk living life, let alone just playing football.
Yeah, it comes from upbringing. It comes from family, and everyone. I'm going to do the disclaimer again. So what we're talking about today is picking football. We're doing this for fun. We are having a good time. We're also talking about business. Just so everybody knows, Anthony is a web designer and a marketer for Maness Medical. Man, we look really good because him and Christopher, I'm telling you, these guys, they sit down, they put a task in front of them and they knock things out very, very quickly. So I appreciate them, and the veterans appreciate you for all that you do. By what you do, we're able to let the entire VA know what type of products we have out there, and we're just very thankful for having you on the team. So I appreciate you very much. Okay.
Of course, thank you.
Yep. And so family is what it's all about. You sticking with your family and my LinkedIn family and everybody. We always grow together. And that's what I want everybody to know. We're utilizing this talk, this live stream, so people can get to know us, fill us out a little bit, share us out. It helps with the algorithm so we can grow more, because our key thing here is helping small businesses grow and helping get the top quality products in front of the VA. That way we can get them out to the VA so the veterans don't have to wait 3 to 5 years for groundbreaking technology. I want everyone to go to my YouTube channel and look back at all my LinkedIn live streams, because some of the products that we're highlighting there is just absolutely revolutionary. And I would appreciate you to subscribe at Johnathan Maness. It really does help out a lot with the algorithm. So thank you very much. So before we move along here, is there anything else you'd like to talk about for any of the football games? Any other thoughts on the football, Tom?
I don't think so. I just really hope the Bucs pull it off. I'm never really too sure with them.
Yeah, you never really know. That's what's exciting. You never know. But I think one thing's for sure. I think they're going to bring that A game, and it's going to be down to the wire, like I've mentioned many times. And I think that no matter what, you're going to be happy, and you got something to be proud of, man. The Bucs are playing good. And look, I want to say this again. Tom Brady, you win the Super Bowl. I'm going to definitely, along with Anthony here, we're going to get you the biggest statue ever in Florida. Okay. So, nobody will ever forget you. We're going to ensure that is done. And also, on the other side, on the AFC side, they need to build a statue for Baker Mayfield if he's able to pull off this crazy year. You know, he plays amazing when he's on point. He is amazing. And if he can do it, good for him. And again, one last throw, shout out to Josh Allen and the Bills. Go Bills. Good luck today. And that's how we feel about that. So we are going to now change topics here a little bit. We're going to get into UFC, okay? So anybody want to chat about UFC, go ahead and throw it into the chat. We'll respond to you. But this week, there's some free fights on ABC this week. I believe Max Holloway's fighting on ABC. Yeah. But the real topic I want to get to is my main man, Conor McGregor. Okay? Conor has to fight Dustin Poirier next Saturday night in Abu Dhabi at Fight Island. And I'm very excited. I'm a Conor McGregor fan. You can see his picture behind me. I've been to a ton of his fights. I love the man. I love his tenacity. Not everybody likes him. He's cocky. He gets in trouble. He acts stupid. Money goes to people's head. But what he does do, I do honestly believe that he learns from his mistakes, and that he is now trying to do things in a better way. He's still Conor McGregor. He's still crazy. If you watch him on Instagram, you see what he's doing, but he earned it all. So you got to respect that. He's got a great selling liquor. He's fought his butt off. He's got tons of money now. And I just think that he's even more focused now on fighting. I saw that with the Cowboy fight with my own eyes. Now, he got drummed before that by Khabib. Khabib's just a different fighter. We've already talked about this a little bit. But what do you think about the Conor McGregor fight? And then I'm going to share a video with you to try to show everyone the true excitement of what Conor McGregor brings to the UFC. But what do you think about this upcoming fight with Dustin Poirier?
Well, he certainly took care of him pretty convincingly in their first fight, but that was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that. I haven't watched too many of Dustin Poirier's fights. I've watched a lot of Conor McGregor, and I know that when he's focused and, he can really, he's a great all-around fighter, but that striking is really what pulls him apart from the rest of the pack. He's the face of the sport, and he's kind of like Ronda Rousey when she went on her run for a couple of years, and her signature move was the armbar. His signature moves, that left hook. That good counter that he can get just in the blink of an eye, and it'll sit you down. I think he'll definitely win. I'm thinking maybe a TKO third or fourth round. I think Poirier will hang in there, but Conor's ready for this fight, and you can tell he's real excited.
Yeah, Dustin looks ready too. He's flying under the radar, so it's making me a little bit nervous because nobody's talking about how much Dustin's trained for this. But he is strong, he's in shape, and he can strike too. Either one of these two could catch each other, and it could be a problem. But I believe Conor is dead serious about this. He's going to try and knock him out in the first 60 seconds. He's already told everybody that's his prediction. That's what he wants to do. And can he do it? Absolutely. He is a thumper with that left hand. When that left hand hits you, you drop. And he's proved it over and over again. But Dustin is in shape and he's ready for it. And he wants to go to war. And they want this to be a war of the ages. And I hope that it happens for that because everybody wants to see a good fight. Not a lot of people like the quick knockouts. They're like, oh, it's over. They want to see a war.
Yeah.
But wars take years off of fighters, in my opinion. All the fighters, especially in boxing, UFC, that are the war type fighters, they age quickly. They're out of the sport quickly because they get themselves beat up. And I really don't want these two in a war because I want to see more of both of them. I want Conor to win this fight decisively. And then we all know what he's going to do. He's going to go back for Khabib. The money's there. Khabib's not going to turn down. I forgot the money. What did he say? $100 million?
I think so, yeah.
We'll find out this weekend what Dana's going to offer him. He's going to be up in Abu Dhabi. But $100 million, you will fight even if you can lose that perfect record for $100 million. I mean, a lot of countries is not worth $100 million, So I think he's going to take that fight. Now, I think Conor is being a little bit I don't know. He wants to just get back at Khabib, and I just don't know if you can get back at Khabib. I believe Khabib is so technically sound that it would be the same type of thing again. Do you think Conor McGregor could catch him to beat him if they did get a rematch?
I think he could. I mean, no one's ever really seen Khabib in trouble before. I personally have never seen him get caught by a big left hook and like leave him staggered or anything like that. He always seems like he's in control. He's got great octagon awareness. I think McGregor could catch him with a little left hand and then maybe just do some ground and pound to try and finish the fight. But I think the chances of that are pretty slim. He trains really well. I mean, for crying out loud, he wrestled bears when he was like 6 years old. I don't think Conor stands too much of a chance, but maybe it'll be a little bit better of a fight if they do have the rematch.
Yeah, I think Conor will be ready. It's not that he's bad on the ground like Dana White always says. He's not bad on the ground, but it is just that Khabib is so much better, and nobody wants to watch that type of fight again. But we have to give Conor his due. He's fighting to get back to that fight. If he wants it that bad, maybe he's going to go in there and get it. Every time anybody that doubts Conor McGregor, he normally comes back and proves them wrong, especially like he did with Nate Diaz. I was at that fight. Thank God I got to see that with my own eyes. Those men beat each other to death, and Conor, was much smaller than Nate, kept coming and ended up winning that second match. Now, I believe that the third fight this year will be another fight between them. And my goodness, what a year if we actually get 3 of those type of fights out of Conor McGregor this year. What a way to bounce back from 2020. 2021 will be outstanding, So, everybody, I'm going to show you a quick video just to show you a little bit of the excitement around Conor McGregor. Just bear with me here. I'm going to try to make this work. So everybody can feel the excitement when you're here. I mean, this is just outstanding. Conor McGregor coming to the ring. You can see that stare. He's ready, and he knew he was ready, and he was coming to get Cowboy. So as you can tell, he's just exciting, and he really brings something to the UFC. People are crazy. I can't wait to get back where I can see him again with my own two eyes. I hope I do. I hope fans can get back out and this COVID mess stops, and we get the vaccine out, herd immunity, whatever we need to do to get over COVID, because we need this country to get going. And a lot of people are hurting out there, and fighting, UFC, football, things like this are just things that bring us all together. So, I really hope the sports gets back together. But as far as that fight goes, Conor's predicting 60 seconds, and I feel he's going to land that punch and put Poirier out. But again, the war we will see that this coming up Saturday night. It's on pay-per-view. Make sure that you buy that pay-per-view. Dana White's already said that if you steal that payper-view, you will get prosecuted. So I'm letting everybody know that listens to me. That whole game, you better stop that mess, because Dana White is not having it, and he is definitely coming after people. And I don't know how he's doing it, but he's got a game plan. Did you hear that as well, Tony?
Yeah, he's going to try and target the sites that put them all up. Yeah.
So, spend the $30-40, man, it's worth it, or whatever it is, $45. It's worth it. Just enjoy the fight and enjoy the brand, because it's brands like this. As Dana White has fought so hard during COVID-19 to keep everything going. I mean, he's the one that's been spearheading everything with the testing and getting his own island and getting this place to keep his business going. And talking about business, you want to talk about caring about your business. That man is working 22 hours a day, grinding, making sure that his business is staying successful so he can keep his fighters checks coming in and keep their families rolling. So that man cares about business and about what he's doing. So I stand behind Dana White 100%.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, this has been an outstanding stream. Thank you for listening and watching today. Enjoy the football games. Enjoy the fight this weekend and next weekend. And, of course, enjoy fantasy football, because it's another thing that's fun that just keeps you keep your mind off of work for a little bit. Now, besides that, when it's time to get back to work, Monday is a holiday, but I'm doing a live stream with a special partner of mine called We Got You Back, Mr. Glenn Gordon. He is going to let everybody know about his back braces and his knee braces and different things that he has. I love Glenn to death. I'm going to help him grow and get his product out there. So we're doing a live stream there, a huge live stream on Tuesday with Moleculite. You have got to see this awesome technology. Moleculite is a life changer. It is a camera, is a wound imaging device. You take pictures of the wounds. It can allow the doctors to see exactly what type of bacteria is in your wounds, and allows them to treat them much quicker, much faster, and ensure that the proper steps are taken to saving that limb and saving your life. So that is on Tuesday. And then I think I got some more stuff for Wednesday and Thursday. So I think I'm going to have a full slate this week for live streams. Plus, we got a ton of bids that are due. We're doing well. Everybody that is with me is January the 16th. If you have not started your pathway to becoming a successful small business, getting in federal contracting, reach out to me at The1legbandit at Maness Veteran Medical, and I can definitely help you grow. So, Tony, thank you so much for your time today, being here with me on the live stream. This was outstanding. Everybody had a good time. We had a lot more viewers this time, so thank you so much. Please like and subscribe and share, and hope you have a wonderful day, Tony. So thank you.
Thank you. You too.
Appreciate you. So everyone, again, spending some time with family, letting you know how we feel about the football games today. But, most importantly, just thankful to be alive, and just keep pounding no matter what. Keep pushing forward. Do not give up. And if you're looking at growing your business, I am the person to help you. I've helped procure over $1 billion for my clients in the last 12 years. Federal contracting is my thing. I'm a federal contracting master. So please reach out to me. And I really appreciate everybody today. And I'm going to get back to work on Monday. If everybody wants to chat and wants me to go live tomorrow, let me know in the chat. Go to subscribe to Johnathan Maness on YouTube, and I'll come back tomorrow. We'll talk more in depth tomorrow about those games. But thank you very much for your time, and y'all have a wonderful day. The One Leg Bandit is out.